Hey, good morning. BJ and Joe Ando out and about on the Recumbents. We're up at the Starsmoor Center in North Cheyenne Canyon. It's the visitor and information center. And what you're looking at is a very small fountain creek that is coming down from the mountains up in North Cheyenne Canyon. So, yeah. View of the water coming this way at you. Got a hummingbird over there you won't be able to see. But, yeah, I just thought I'd get you a little more scenic setting than, than we normally start off with. Especially since we're strictly on the bike lanes. There's Joe right there. And that's the Starsmoor Center, as they call it. There's our trikes. Okay. Well, we'll get back at you. Bye. Okay, so we're going to roll down to the Sacred Grounds Cafe. Get some iced tea to go with our brown bag special. So, yeah, we'll take you down. Basically, they consider this road to be Cheyenne Road. Some people call it, North Cheyenne Canyon, but the canyon doesn't actually start till you get past the sign here for the Starsmoor Visitor Nature Center. Okay, they just put in all this new concrete curbing and stuff. Have to forgive me, the road is really bumpy. I mean, I don't know why, since this is quite the tourist destination, because they have North Cheyenne Canyon, they have 7 falls, so it's a back way to the Broadmoor Hotel, but they're being a pain in the bottom. Yeah, all right. Got us an all-way stop here, but the Sacred Ground Cafe isn't too far from Starsmoor Center. That's why we headed up there first. I don't think being on a trek we have to worry about overhead power lines. Oh, we got a deer. Hello, deer. How you doing? A D-E-E-R. Hello. Hello, how are you? It's okay. It's okay. You're all fine. Yeah, I know. I sound like a little old lady, but I don't want to give him the man voice, because that might scare the crud out of him. Especially because that's a young deer, so not a fawn, but it's a young deer, so yeah, might as well try to be nice, not to. Of course, it has a lot to do with whether we can get a parking place or not. Sometimes that's not easy to do here. Well, they don't have much parking. You can park across the street, but we really don't want our trikes that far away. Although there is a heck of a hump you have to go up to be able to do this. So I think what we'll try to do, I think there's one on the other side here. Yeah. That's the Sacred Grounds Cafe. Okay, now I gotta get up this hill. Whoa, Nelly. Okay, like I said, this is the Sacred Grounds Cafe. Nice place. Good food. A little on the expensive side, but they gotta make their money somewhere. Okay, so we'll get back to you. Bye. Okay, well, we're back. All right, Joe. So we're heading back down from the sacred grounds on Cheyenne Road, and then we'll switch over to Cheyenne Boulevard. This is a severe downhill, so I'm gonna be very mellow so I can do the recording. But yeah, oh, so today is a Wednesday. As you can see, the road splits up here, and the bottom part is the part we're going to stay on is Cheyenne Road. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if this actually changes, just splits. But I think they consider this Cheyenne Road and the other one Cheyenne Boulevard, but I'm not 100% sure. But we like going down here because there's no bike lane on the upper part. So there's no bike lane here, but this is not as much used by cars, so it's a lot safer for us on the bikes, on the trikes, you know. Yeah, sorry if you hear a little squeak. That's my drum brakes squeak a little bit. They just do. I don't know why. I'd like to think, you know, I was gonna have them change the pads, but they said they didn't think my pads were that bad and it would make that much difference. So okay, come to a stop sign here, and yeah, they consider this Cheyenne Road. No, it is Cheyenne Boulevard. So up here, so that down there is Cheyenne Road. Although I think there's a couple of places where, you know, it does the weird split, you know. Could be wrong. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's Wednesday. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We've had a whole lot of rainy weather, and today's the first day that in quite a while that they don't think we'll get any rain. We may get some clouds this afternoon. We got some clouds now, but not supposed to get much rain today. Yeah, like I said, we're on the Cheyenne Boulevard bike lane, coming up to Cresta Road, CRESTA. And that's if you want to go off Cheyenne Boulevard, you turn on Cresta and head south, and you'd end up at the Broadmoor. There's a bus for Seven Falls. They have a couple of places where you can park, and then you get you pick up the shuttle to take you up there, and they'll take you back. Like I said, this is all bike lane, because we started our ride on the Cascade Street bike lane, went over to the Weber Street bike lane, then picked up the Tejon Street bike lane, and then got over to the Cheyenne Boulevard bike lane. I have to really keep my speed down here. For some reason they got us pushed all the way out here, which is a real bummer. I got cars behind me, so I'm gonna go inside here since I got the room. Yeah, the real sad thing is they took our bike lane away. Yeah, like I said, that squeak you hear is my my brake, and the other one actually squeaks worse. So anytime I have to use just one brake, and you know I'm going down a pretty good clip, yeah, they just start squeaking. I can get it to subdue a little, but yeah, see, we run out of bike lane right here. Because it's really not a bike lane, even though we got it marked here, because really it's a parking lane. And you got some of these people that you know, they don't want to cut you any slack, even though they've got a middle lane, you know. So hopefully one day they'll come, you know, paint a bike lane in here. They need to take out the middle lane, and you know, I mean, they have it in there so people can get to their houses, you know, without stopping traffic, which is admirable, but don't appreciate them taking away the bike lane, because this used to have a bike lane all the way down. Yeah, squeaky brakes. Oh, ouch, ouch. Didn't see that one. Okay. Alright, so now we're crossing over 8th Street. Be real careful, there's some holes in places here. I guess the number 4 Broadmoor bus goes up so far, but I don't know where it turns around. I don't know if it really heads up the canyon, or I don't think so. Although it could do a loop where you go by the Starsmoor Center and you keep following that road instead of going up the canyon. And that road, I believe, is the one that'll take you up to Seven Falls. I don't know what the name of it is. But yeah, like I said, thanks for coming along. Didn't want to use the wireless mic because it's you know, when we get going a good clip, it's a little cumbersome. And I wasn't planning on doing any fancy angles or anything. Although I still might, you never know. All-way stop here, so we gotta do a stop. Okay. Our turn. Watch out for that car up there, it's got lights on. Might want to ding your bell as you get close. But yeah, like I said, you know, today is supposed to be the best day of the week. Thursday and Friday have, you know, like 50 to 60% chance of rain. So, not good days to try to get out. Day's supposed to be quite warm. It's supposed to be like 92 Fahrenheit. So, we probably won't stay out, you know, really long. I just end up kind of heading back. ahead, Tyler. Watch out, watch out. Thank you. Well, how do I get up here? I'm going to go ahead and shut her down for now because it just gets really ugly as we get onto the Tejon Street bike lane. Yeah, it just gets really ugly, so bye for now. Okay, we're now on the Pikes Peak Greenway Trail. We got through all the really ugly stuff. Because, yeah, the Tejon Street bike lane is, at least that part of it is a real disaster. I mean, it's better now. It's better now that they did some bicycle infrastructure. Although it doesn't work all that good. It's kind of clumsy, and you know, there's a lot of stop. You know, a lot of, you know, lighted crossings, but yet, you know, they're letting cars, you know, come off the interstate and turn, you know, not really have to, you know, pay attention to you, you know. So I don't know, it just didn't work out as good as it looked on the in the planning, you know. It looks a lot better, it looks a lot safer, but it is better than what it was before, because before you literally had to, you know, where I-25 comes down and comes over to Tejon Street and then up to Nevada Avenue, you know, that was literally, they'd come off at, you know, 80 miles an hour, and they weren't going to stop. So it was pretty hairy at times. And more than once I had to slam on my brakes as hard as I could because some guy came, you know, just barreling down there, you know. Don't need to get that picture. But yeah, yesterday was kind of fun. We did our first Tai Chi class, and I can tell you that I am not a very fluid movement kind of old man. I look pretty bad, I'm sure. But they're offering it free through our senior medical insurance through PACE. So we've always kind of wanted to you know, give it a try, you know. But yeah, so this goes right along I-25. That's what all that madness is out there. And we're heading for America the Beautiful Park. And then we'll have to figure out where we want to go from there. I'm not really sure. Well, hopefully by this time next week, I should be able to go back to short sleeves. And I'm still letting that incision where they took out that little bit of skin cancer, you know, make sure it's good and healed before I start putting sunscreen on it and letting it you know, get tanned in a bit so it matches my rest of my arm. But so I've been wearing long sleeves. Got a white long sleeve shirt on today, so it's the perfect one, because if you got to wear a long sleeve, white you know, it reflects the heat. It doesn't absorb, it reflects. So that does help some. As you can see, we got some clouds building in. And they do say, you know, we're going to get some really dark clouds, but there's just almost no chance of rain, because even if it does come out of the clouds, it's so hot here that you know, it creates what they call virga. It looks like it's raining, but it never touches the ground. Yeah, there's a snake. Joe didn't give it very much room. Next time she needs to give it more room. It didn't seem like a rattler, but you never know. It was all stretched out in the sun. Looked like a bull snake, but I'm no snake expert. They didn't see a rattler. They didn't hear a rattle either. You don't see that, you know, like really often here, you know. You know, I mean, it's pretty rare to catch a snake out sunning. And this goes right along. This portion here is Fountain Creek as it heads south to Pueblo, Colorado, and eventually empties into the Arkansas River. I'm going to give myself a little bit of boost here. Yeah, kind of a sharp little uphill here. Now we're going under Kachara Street. This intersection right here is where you would catch the Midland Trail heading to Manitou, but we're not going that way today. At least I don't think we are. We might eventually end up that way. Now we're heading into America the Beautiful Park. And they probably have I don't know if they got the fountain going or not. Doesn't look like it. That's a shame. As hot as it is, would be a real good thing for the kids. Yeah, like I said, we've had a lot of rain, so the bushes and the grasses are huge this year. I mean, literally huge. They don't have the fountain working, but they do have the water working. So I guess they can shoot it out of the lower part too. And then that fountain turns around. We're going to try to sneak down that way. You guys get a little better view. Yeah, this is the Julie Penrose Fountain, and it slowly turns in the wind, and then at times the water comes basically right out of the top and falls down like a little waterfall into the circle. But looks like they may have it kind of going today, because it's definitely doing a leak from somewhere. See, all the kids are out here in the splash pool. We're gonna go behind the staff here so we don't get in anybody's way. All right. Yeah. Check that out. Hello. Yeah, lots of little ones. That's nice though, you know, because it would really otherwise it'd be like, you know, super hot out here for them. So we'll take a nature break over here, and we'll catch you down the trail. All right. Monument Valley Park, stop and have our think bar, a little bit of water, in the shade someplace, and that's probably where we'll end the video today, because from there we'll just be heading straight back to the apartment. Just in case you haven't seen, they raised the rent on our storage unit twice in 1 year, and we just decided that it's too expensive. Asked the landlord if we could get permission to use the space underneath the front stairs in our apartment complex, and he said, yeah, no problem. Well, I don't know if it was quite that easy. I think he begrudgingly said yes. So that's where we're keeping them now. Of course, we have them, you know, locked up with a 15-foot cable and a big thick padlock, and also a kryptonite kryptonite U-bolt lock. So and you know, we trust our neighbors. They think we're crazy anyway, you know, for for riding, you know, trikes, you know, so, and not having a car. So, you know, they don't mess with them crazy trike riders, you know. We'll put the voodoo on you. Oh, get your damn motorized vehicle off the trail. Yeah, they're not supposed to be on the trail, but there's not enough, you know, there's no real enforcement, you know. We do have rangers, but we have very few of them. And we have a lot of trails, man. So when you put them all together, you know, we probably, you know, we probably have a couple of 100 miles of trails, but or at least 100, 150, but they still don't hook up all that well. There's a few where they finally got them to hook up when they finished the Rock Island connector. That was a great hookup, because that way you could come off the Pikes Peak Greenway, pick up the Rock Island, and then either take that, or also at the junction you could pick up Shook's Run. So, you know, you can make the well, what they call the legacy loop, you know, by doing that. Got a bridge to cross here. And now that we're up this high on the trail, now that creek that we went over is Monument Creek. So Fountain Creek flows, like I said, starting, you know, out of North Cheyenne Canyon, up from the mountains out of North Cheyenne Canyon, and then flows down to Colorado Springs. And then Monument Creek, I don't really even know where it starts, you know. It's way way north somewhere, and goes through the city of Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and then heads down to Pueblo and into the Arkansas River. But right there at just on the south side of America the Beautiful Park, both of the creeks, join up, so they create a confluence, as they say. All right, we got some traffic here, so we gotta passing on your right, sir. Thank you very much. Passing on your left, ma'am. Thank you. All right, so we got a little bit of dirt here we have to do. This is the east side of the Pikes Peak Greenway, so it's all dirt. We go this way. You get on the west side, back over a bridge, lots of bridges. Oh, I gotta turn down the assist. Now we're back over. And it's a pretty bumpy old bridge. And we got this little bit of dirt here before we pick up the concrete. We got a mud spot. That's why I wish they would finish the concrete, you know, down to the bridge here, and leave the other part that they have over there, you know, as like an access road for the you know, the Parks Department vehicles. But I just don't understand why they won't concrete the rest of this and give us a, you know, a concrete trail all the way down, you know, to where you cross the bridge and get on another concrete trail. They're very strange in the city. They just don't do what, you know, they don't like to do what makes sense. They do a lot of good stuff, but a lot of times too, they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of just don't think very well, I guess. That dog's chasing squirrels. All right. But yeah, well, we're almost into Monument Valley Park here, so just want to say thanks for coming along. We'd appreciate it if you'd passing on your left. Thank you. And this is Stanley Lake here in Monument Valley Park. It should be known as Goose Poop Lake because the geese really like it, and there's a lot of goose poop around here. I got a little picnic pavilion here, but you have to have a reservation or they will throw you out unmercifully. So we're going to probably go over by the swimming pool, which is right over here. That's the pickleball court and the playground and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, please do us a favor, you know, like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd really appreciate it if you'd share our video. That would be awesome. Oh boy. Yeah. Got some geese here. Gotta wait for them to get across. Come on, fellas. Well, okay. No, we're actually going to steal this bench here. All right, from BJ and Joe Ondo, out and about on the recumbents. Till next time, happy trails. Bye.